Hi friends, and welcome to the next video. In this video we're going to be checking out 3 exotic grooves. Now, while this may seem exotic to us in the West, in the States, or wherever you may be in South America, these are actually very common grooves in places like Turkey and Greece. So, I have to tell you, I made a lot of money with these grooves. Okay, they're not very common in the drumming culture, I think, let's say in the West. And they're very interesting and something that people love, and you can turn it into something. You can, if you know these types of world music grooves, you can use them in your own music somehow and adapt it into some contemporary thing or jazz or whatever. It's very versatile if you have imagination. But the first thing you have to do is know about them, okay? If you don't know them, then you can't use them. So the first groove we're going to look at is called Sirto. Now, Sirto is a groove that sounds like soca, sounds like reggaeton, but it's not either one of those. It has a little bit of a particular feel and some things that you do that distinguish them from those other grooves. So let's just play a real basic Sirto so you can get a feel for what it sounds like. And it's like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again, it does sound a lot like soca, but now what we're going to do is put the distinguishing factor in there. Now, I've heard some guys in different parts of the world play it slightly different on the hi-hat than what I just played, but the people that I played with, a lot of different artists from that region of the world, they love my interpretation. So I'm going off of what other musicians and artists like, and my experience actually playing this stuff, okay? So this is the part that distinguishes Sirto, and it's basically this, okay? Now, you add that to the groove, and it sounds like this. 1, 2. Okay, so you can use it sparingly, you can use it every time. You have to consider that all these grooves come from the original percussion instruments from these regions of the world that they originate. Okay, so it's good, of course, to listen to the music so you can judge what you need to do and maybe learn a few songs, play along to some songs from this style, and you'll learn a lot that way too. Okay, so now you can also take it on the ride cymbal, okay? You can put it on the ride, and this is what it's going to sound like with ride cymbal. 1, 2. All right, so you'll notice that I'm doing some bass drum variations, okay? There's a few things you can do on the bass drum that are very nice and seem to work very well in the grooves. Again, you have to listen to the music. A lot of it is just pumping 4 on the floor, right? But you can get away with a lot of stuff depending on what artist you're playing with. Okay, so now I'm gonna take it out, all right? I'm gonna take it as far as it can go, the farthest I've gone, and with people liking it. So you can get a real good idea of what you can do with this. It can be applied in jazz, it can be you know, applied in many styles. So here it goes. Sirto, taking it out, okay? Okay, so you can have a lot of fun with that. As you can see, you know, there are many things to do, many things you can do. And well, you know, I highly suggest checking it out so that you can apply it. Maybe you'll never play a Greek gig or a Turkish gig, whatever this calls for. But you can apply it into your own music if you're producing music. Okay, so the next groove we're going to look at is called Sefteteli. Sefteteli is the belly dance groove, okay? This groove is what one of the grooves that belly dancers dance to. I was doing a lot of these types of gigs at one point, and there was one gig I remember very clearly. There's this huge stage, and I'm, you know, okay, another gig, you know, and it was great. I loved it. But suddenly, 10 belly dancers come out and they're dancing all around me and on the stage. It was amazing. But I really had to keep my concentration together so that I could play the songs properly. It's quite amusing. But it's a great art form. That dance is amazing. And when you play this really well, the dancers will love you. Okay? So this is what it sounds like. This is Sefteteli. Let's start off with a real basic one. Okay? And this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 1. Okay. Now, the main thing is okay? The hi-hat. What I like to do, again, what worked a lot on these gigs and what dancers liked and, you know, the producers, the artists I played with in this style, they like this. 1. So if you add that to the groove, okay, so that open hi-hat there seems to be a popular choice with artists that I've played with. Now, Let's take it over to the ride cymbal. You can apply the same kind of a thing with the upbeats on the bell. I have a splash here on my ride because I'm into this stacking thing at the moment anyway. And that sounds something like this, okay? On the hi-hat, you can just play like this. That's good enough. That sounds great. So 1, 2. All right, so that gives you a good idea what that sounds like. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out about as far as it can go rhythmically, vocabulary-wise, so you can see maybe what you can do in jazz or some other style, okay? The vocabulary, you know, you have to kind of get used to it, and of course, listening to the music, of course. Always check out the music and see what it sounds like so you can use the proper vocabulary, okay? So this is with the groove about as far out as it can go. 1, 2. Okay, I really love that groove, and it's super funky. When you're playing with a full percussion section too, you know, you have to, of course, watch out what you're playing, don't step on other parts, but it sounds so unbelievably groovy and hip. Okay, the last groove we're gonna take a look at is called Zembekiko. All right, I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. So I've heard some guys call it Zybekiko. You know, the Greek guys are gonna have to tell me which is correct. This is the Greek dance where you see the guy dancing on the floor around a cup of whiskey or something or whatever it is, and he's dancing around the cup with his arms like this. You know, I mean, you've seen that in movies. You've seen that. I've seen that in person many times, and it's really quite fun. So. And then at the end of the song, he has to kneel down and he drinks the drink, grabs it with his teeth, and he drinks it like this in one gulp. All right, not the end of the song necessarily, but in the middle or somewhere, you know. And it's great if you can play along with the guy that's dancing, right? You can do things to complement the dance, and those guys love that. So the interesting thing about this groove is, of course, that it's slow and it's in 9, okay? 9/8, 9/4, whatever you want to think mathematically. And there's a certain repetitive pattern that it goes through all the time. So this is it, basically. Let's have a listen to the basic groove, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you can hear the basic pattern in there. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's the vibe. So I'm going to play it a little more, with a little more vocabulary. Some things that I experimented on gigs with, and players again loved it when I could play it this way because it gives more excitement, to the whole piece, to the dancing, to everything. So especially towards the end of the phrase, that's where you can do a lot of fills. Okay, so this is what that sounds like. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's with a lot of fills towards the end of the phrase. And it's a blast, a lot of fun. And you can interact a little with the dance, people like that kind of thing. So I'm gonna take it out now, again, about as far as it can go. So you can see maybe what you can do to have fun with it. All right, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so that's Zybekiko, Zembekiko. All these grooves are tons of fun. Maybe you can put that in a metal tune, somehow, in 9, I don't know. But it's great to know these grooves. Like I said before, if you're a working drummer, you should know as many grooves as possible. So you can go here, there, play, always bringing that money in, making the gig happen, and having fun learning all about drumming, all about world music. Okay, so that's 3 exotic grooves. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, check out the lesson site if you want to study with me. You can access the lesson site for $200 for the entire year. You have me on email support, video support, WeChat. Everything is there. The most innovative curriculum on the planet. Okay, see you there. Thanks for watching. Peace.